So I'm going seriously off peak today after talking about the Fast 800 yesterday or the day before. Um, I've been watching the South African Taste Master on YouTube, and it's the baking show. And oh god, they've been making some really lovely food. But what they made last night that I was watching was they made some wonderful savoury pies, and I got tempted. So in the oven at the moment, I'm blind baking a pastry bottom, pie bottom, and I'm using a suet crust pastry, which I've never made pastry with suet. I've only ever used it for dumplings or for like a roly poly or something like that. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that comes out. I'm sure it'll be lovely, and it's really easy to make, obviously, because I haven't really got to rub anything in. I was inspired though to add some things to the pastry crust, and I've added peppercorns to the pastry crust, small, different coloured peppercorns, and some Parmesan cheese. So that should give it a bit of zing. And I'm using sausage meat. It's going to be sausage meat pie, and I've flavoured the seasoned the sausage meat with sage from the garden and some onion. So yeah, I've got 10 minutes before I need to go and take it out of the oven and then do a bit more. So it's blind baking at the moment with greaseproof paper on it and some old butter beans that I've been using for ages and ages and ages as the weight on top of the greaseproof. I went down to let the chickens out this morning and scattered some cracked corn for them and watched the two ex-batteries bullying the Brahmas still. And so they got told off and chucked into another pen for a bit just to give the Brahmas a chance to eat as well. But I walked down the hamlet, down the road, round the hedge, down towards the bins yesterday, and round the corner is another gate over into the garden, and I had let the chickens out, and I watched the two expats because there's three chickens, but only two of them are expats. The other one is just an older chicken of the same variety. I watched the two expats, and they were scratching like mad under the walnut tree, under the dry leaves, because all the leaves in their run, because they've been shut in for so long, are just wet and muddy. They were loving it, and it reminded me that when we got them, and I can't remember when it was, probably this time last year. I remember it was really cold. It was a cold morning that Ludo turned up with them. So probably this time last year, they were listless and didn't know what to do, and I didn't even know I was getting expats. I was quite shocked by their appearance, to be honest with you. And they didn't know how to scratch. So for hens, it's instinctive to scratch, 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 looking for food. And they didn't, they just stood. And it was quite shocking. And I'm not sure how long, it was a few days before they started to tentatively start scratching. And now they're scratching and chucking up leaves and really, really searching hard for their food. And it's lovely. You know, they're so healthy now. They've got all their feathers. They had hardly any feathers. Oh God, they were such a mess. And now they're really healthy, and they're little bloody bullies. So they got kicked out for a bit this morning. It looks like Mark might have shingles. He's got a rash on his head. He showed me it yesterday, and I think he's had it a day or two before. And I've looked at it again this morning, and it's looking like it's spreading. It's not blistered yet because shingles blisters, and he hasn't got any other symptoms. He's got no fatigue, no pain at the moment. And intriguingly, he got shingles when his dad died. So that I'm just fascinated by that, how our body deals with those internal, our emotions and the internal stuff, and shows it somewhere. And it seems that in Mark's case what happens is he gets shingles. So yes, I'm going to keep an eye on him and look after him like I normally do anyway. Wait on him hand and foot, which is what I try to do anyway, and hope that he doesn't get unwell, because at the moment he's fine. Just got this rash on his head, and we'll go to the doctors if we can get an appointment on Monday, because if you're going to treat shingles, which when I had shingles, I've had it twice. When I had it years ago, there were no antivirals that you could treat it with. You can get antivirals now, which if you get to it within the first week, especially before it's pustulated, it can shorten. I think it shortens or can shorten the illness or reduce any symptoms that you might have. So it'd be a good idea if we could go to the doctors and sort that out, because our immune systems are already up against it with COVID. So not having to fight shingles as well might be a good plan. I looked up as well, and it's not really infectious. It's only infectious if it's weeping, and his rash isn't weeping at the moment. It would be unlikely for me. And then it would only be infections if I touch the rash. So if it starts doing that, I'll stop touching him. I'll ban him to another bedroom. But I've had shingles twice, so it's highly unlikely that I would get it. And I don't feel, I'm not the one being battered a bit by the loss of my mother. So I think I'll be okay. We'll see. Anyway, I've got to go and check on my blind baking now and do the rest of the prep for dinner, which is in an hour, and I'm so hungry. I'm going to do mashed potato with it, and I'm going to do gravy and use some of those beans that I bought the other day, the green beans and some monge too, and just another hour and we can eat. Yum. Okay, have a nice day.